So yeah, we were just talking about doctors, and then talking about certain levels of you know intellectual study, or being an intellectual that could almost be a block of
Oh, you mean being a part of the knowledge class?
mm,
That is a barrier.
mm,
Thinking's a barrier. Word is a barrier. Thought is a barrier. No doubt. Continue.
mm. Yeah. So then
Not for everyone.
sure, yeah. The question was, is it true that most people think, but they don't really know, or they don't know, on a deeper
They may
level?
not know that they know. That's often the case. They don't know that they know.
Mm.
The same with the musicians who come up. They seem to have an issue with what they're playing. So they obviously don't know they can play what they can play. And so the situation warrants some peeling, some what I would call burn process, so that the inside can be revealed to the individual as being real for themselves. Sometimes when I may let people sit in, which is rare, they experience something. They say, I never experienced that before. What's the magic? What is the thing? Well, the thing is selflessness. If you can get there, if you can get the concept properly to get there so that you can perform or conduct your business accordingly, then it becomes self-revealing. You have to get out of the way, but that's a theory. Good luck understanding it in the beginning. So you are the problem and the solution. Not self, but as a self, you're a problem. As a selflessness, you are the solution. Now, that doesn't help it. That's the answer.
Mm. So then we were just talking about music as being a catalyst, in order to get to that place. But then there's also, your word and your books too that can help people to get into that space. Yeah, and I know from that, people have to have a certain, openness to that and not be too attached.
Well, they have to be willing to acknowledge that they are suffering from neuroses, which is inherited and reinforced by way of association and relations. And none of it is true, but it's very painful. Karma. Because when you get to the right place, let's say, or the right circle or group of people, then the light is shined, or shown, right? The light is placed right on that issue, and then you start to see from how it's placed on the issue of your own suffering or your personality or whatever your ego trip is, that it doesn't exist. It's not real. It's a condition you have created for yourself that you need to disown and get beyond. You're not your suffering self, but everyone will, contradict that and say, oh no, we are suffering, and that is ourselves. And we say, no, that's not true. See, that's the appearance of it. Once you get into, let's say, the right situation, and you start to go beyond that. You start to let go of that particular kind of self-created prison of understanding or logic. See? It's a prop. It's a crutch. You need to burn it, see, and come out of it free. Right? And get up. Drop your crutches. Get up and walk. Right? Stand up. And that's what practice is about, taking a stand for the deeper understanding of who you are beyond your neuroses, which by the time you get here, you know what your neuroses is and you know you're ready to let it go. And you want to hear as much as you can about this process of letting it go and disowning it as a healthy thing, not as something which is indicative of a form of self-destruction or self-separation or any other labels that could be ascribed to it. It's not about that. It's about healing. It means you have to go beyond your suffering. Mhm. And so it's not a physical going beyond, it's a psychic going beyond. You have to sense there's something deeper in you. In other words, you have to know you have good times, that you feel happy under certain conditions. You have to, recognize that. Right? That life is not all that bad. It's not all darkness. You have your bright moments and you have your dark moments when you're against yourself. See, when you're causing your suffering. See? So to come out from there into the, let's say, illumination of the Dharma or the right situation for the person, then is to feel that the situation welcomes their inner, let's say, enlightenment in that situation. So you can feel good. See? People allow you to feel good. That's the basis for the awakening. Having a neutral environment where it's not about your suffering and your ego at all. You start to feel the sweetness of that. It's not about me. There's no me here. Wow, that's great. That's a change. I say, no, yeah, you don't exist actually. It exists. Come on.